I said, okay, let's do it the other way around. Let's change the question and change the visualization of data. So we went and we changed the question and we put the same information on a map. And now the information to me talks as that loud that I don't have to tell you anything, because which cities answer the survey? It's an easy question. So we have 29 European cities spread over Europe, and you can see on your own that Europe is very well represented. But Eastern European cities could be involved more, and this is something that we should work on. Same goes for the other regions. We can see that in Africa, we need to try to involve more African cities. And America, okay, the North America is doing okay. In Latin America, we do have 5 cities that answered the survey. So we would like also to open more to other cities and invite them to come and answer the survey. You must have noticed that Asia is missing from this map. It's because we didn't have feedback, and we have already invited the cities present to answer the survey. This is exactly the same thing, but now we see the percentages. So just to make it clear, if it wasn't enough now, European cities account for more than 50% of the open consultations answers. We believe that other people do, and other countries and other continents have things to say, and we would be very happy to know and have their voice heard. Now, from cities and continents, we've moved to people, and we looked how we're connecting with the people within city institutions. And we found out that it's a diverse landscape that embraces a multi-actor and multi-layered perspective. Because we found out that we have representatives that they are high-level ranking or elected. And this is something that is very important, because also we had yesterday a discussion at dinner, and we were saying that political will, it's important for us to go on. Otherwise, we cannot go far. So we are happy and grateful to have people championing within their institution at that level for what we work for. On the other hand, you will see that we have a high level of expertise, because you can see on the left side the roles that we extrapolated. And you will find out that we are many, that we have a high level of specific expertise, and so this makes it a consolidated technical base. And this is something that we'll find also in the next answers. So there is coherence in the answers. Again, this diversified landscape also takes a multi- and cross-sectoral approach. We made a matrix there that probably you cannot read, but just to show you how we got to these 17 different sectors that cross-engage with our work. And so we extrapolated the themes and the cities. So we found out that there are 17, with food policy at the top level, international relations and cooperation at the second, and the third, it's agriculture and rural development, strategic planning and welfare. Now, we go and see what food policy tools are in place in the cities that answered the survey. With food policy tools, we refer to food policy, if there is a food policy in the city, if there is a food policy officer, or if there is a food council there. So from out of all the cities surveyed, 26 answered that they had a food policy, 24 food policy officer, which makes sense because you need a person to coordinate, to work on what you have there. And what we see is that food councils are still an area where we need still to work. I'm not going to read them to you, and I know you're very happy about this, but we went a step further and we have decided to cross-check them all and to see who of them that they answered at least at one, they said yes to one at least of those 3 tools, that they have them all. So we found out that there are 14 cities of all surveyed that they declared to have in place all this food policy. And we thought it would be nice for you to know, for the cities that they said it, to see themselves up there, and for you to get some useful information that you might want to use. Again, this is the regional distribution of cities reported to have established at least one policy tool. I will not really go and explain everything about it, because also I think data is like art. Everybody has his own interpretation of what he wants to see in a graph. So we can see that at the global level, meaning all the 46 cities surveyed, that food policy is at the highest level. And actually, it's amazing. Perhaps 5 years ago, having so many cities where the food policy established, it was something that we would not even dream about. But now it's a reality. And also, the number of food policy officers is coherent, and the Food Council still works. So we see this pattern. I will skip the other ones. But something that caught my eye is Africa. Africa has more food policy officers than food policy. So how does this work? And I tried to give an interpretation, because again, as we said, is what we see in data. And here we have the implementation level of food policy tools by region. And here the question was, do you have them? Yes. Maybe, no. But this may be in the future. If you look in the African cities, I have to make a disclaimer to say that it's not correct to say Africa or Asia, because these are continents and are big. So I should have said, the correct way to say is the Latin American cities that have been surveyed and answered this question. But for ease of reference, allow me every once and then to say Europe or Africa, just to make it a little bit quicker. So going back to the African cities, you can see that the yellow bar is high, which is maybe in the future. So the thing is that African cities put a lot in hope in the future that it will happen. They know that something is going on, and they know that they will be working to make it happen. Well, I will skip North American cities, because it's like, you know, when you were at school and you were as a student, and somebody did all their homework, you know, so they have everything nice. Everything is in place. Now, that's one topic that is very interesting for cities. City-to-city cooperation, laying the foundation. Now, please not let me be misunderstood, as the song says, because laying the foundations means that I'm here to tell you the new thing. Just from personal experience, the work that the RUA Foundation and the FAO is doing for so many years, plus the city networks, makes us very confident to assume that city cooperation is as old as mud. So I'm not here to tell you that we're talking about new things. But this laying the foundation refers to the survey, saying, I ask a direct question and I take a direct answer. So first we went to see, we asked these questions and we got this answer. So we asked the interest of Milan Pact cities to engage in various activities and actions and activities. So we found out, and mind you, these here is a very strict selection, because we have many more question-answer situation, but we thought that we should concentrate to some. So we can see that cities show strong interest in city-to-city cooperation. It popped up as the first one. Technical work and knowledge exchange and transfer is there. We had a meeting this morning with the steering committee of the Pact. This popped up because cities want to host technical workshops. They want to lead projects. They want to be partners in projects. So we know that this is happening. Urban food systems, diagnostics and metrics came again up. And from what we saw today in the earlier session, I don't need a, this magic globe to say that FAO and RUAF, there is work coming on towards your direction. Also, participation in the MUFPP organizational procedures is high on the agenda for cities. They want to make part of the Sherpa team guidelines. They want to participate in the steering committee. They want to do all this work. Also, I have to say that my dear colleague, Andrea Mangarini, knows a lot about that. He has been working a lot on these issues. But now I think I got your attention on the city-city cooperation, so I just want to go, I think it's my last slide, or the one before the last. And I would like to show you here those cities that are ready to take action. And so you can see them. This, we believe, it's laying the foundation for cities to just meet and say,